Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
If I'm a one-hit wonder, at least I got one, huh? At least I got something. Really ain't me. The beat bumping, one song could change lives. Let's see something. One joke could save lives. We gon' keep coming, keep functioning. Something out of nothing. Ball-wise, I'm top 300. Get your favorite artist. I'll chop it up with mutton. If they haters, your ghost could be bludgeon. If they for real, we getting money. Subtract BS minus Negroes, button everything authentic. Stupid shit I did it. Punishing myself like my mom prison. No questions, no tea, not lifting. One time for tea, being broke wasn't living. One hit wonder. At least I got.
Yo, what up? Peace and blessings to the people. Happy Tuesday. I hope all is well. If you were here earlier, thank you for spending time with us. Shout outs to my poets, my writers, my content creators, so on and so forth. You know I got to give my flowers out. I got Sydney in the building, and I want to say interesting, but this was kind of savage, man. Like, really, really WTF. You'll see it in a second. Let me do a quick little screen split real fast. Sid, about to bring you up. What's good? How you feeling?
Hello, doing pretty good. I'm finally getting a tiny bit of my weather excitement today. We had a tornado watch from San Diego to LA, but all we've been getting is rain. No tornadoes for us, but we've still been finally getting rain, and the trees have been blowing pretty hard. It's been pretty interesting compared to the past 2 years of just boring nothing weather. So I'm pretty happy to see some diversity in the weather finally, and I'm excited to see what the winter might bring, because apparently it's supposed to be very hopefully more rainy. I know the Sierras are supposed to get like 2 to 3 feet of snow in just this storm, so hopefully it'll be some interesting weather in the future.
Yeah, I didn't think it snowed out there, to be honest with you. So
It does, but it has to be on the mountains. Like, it's really rare that you'll get it anywhere like San Francisco, San Jose, Los Angeles, San Diego. It happens, but it's usually only like a dusting. But up in the Sierras, like up in the mountains, and then up towards like Northern California, you can definitely get some snow. The storm that we had last year in 2024, I think the Sierras, depending on the location, got between like 10 and 20 feet of snow. It was crazy. I think one area even got like 30 feet. So we can definitely get it. It's just in higher elevations, not here.
Okay. Well, if you get some snow, send it my way, because I don't expect any. If y'all wondering what the title is about, I think it should be clear. If it's not, I'm gonna go ahead and help y'all out with that. I don't know if y'all be the judge. Y'all be the judge. This is wild, man. The comment section is not taking it easy on fam, but I want to know what you think about this video. Domestic violence on men. People don't think that it really happens, or people don't take it serious. But from what you're about to watch, maybe people need to put a little more respect on it. So let me go ahead and run that real quick.
Tell him about the bitch you was texting. Tell him.
I wasn't texting nobody.
Tell him.
I wasn't texting nobody, guys. No, I promise. I promise.
Say thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Hold the camera right. Let them see.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
That was something else.
That's one way to put it. I don't even know where to begin. Everything can't be a skit. If this is a skit, I don't know what the hell is wrong with y'all, that you would go to these extremes for clicks, reposts, and shares. You got a camera set up, or you got this brother holding the phone, recording this with the intentions of being abused. I mean, he's literally getting slapped and punched in the face, emasculated. All of this for what? Alleged infidelity? Is this about you building a specific type of brand? Is your content based on abuse? I don't understand what this was supposed to be about at all. I just so happened to scroll and see it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Am I like, no way I'm looking at this. For one, because I could have sworn that Instagram and these bougie platforms, they have like this no tolerance rule. There's certain things you can't do on this platform without there being a problem or backlash, or you're going to get kicked the fuck off. You bullying, harassment, etc., etc. Y'all know how the guidelines are on these apps. So I don't know what is going on here. I don't know if, first of all, do you believe this shit is scripted? One. Secondly, if it's scripted, who would sign up for it? what type of psychological issues do you have to say, oh, me, I want to get embarrassed and purposely belittled in front of hundreds and thousands of people who are going to watch this. Another thing, who finds this entertaining? Yeah, those are my initial thoughts on it. That should make me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, that was pretty jarring to watch and really uncomfortable. Like, honestly, his reaction, I'm inclined to believe that was not scripted. He seemed, I mean, I don't know, like, obviously I don't have much to judge this off of, but it almost seemed like he might have even had an intellectual disability with the way he was responding. Like, he wasn't fighting back or anything. So it makes me wonder if he had something going on with his mind, or potentially if he's just been like, there's a history of this behavior, and he's been like conditioned to not respond because of the way that she's treating him. It was a lot. Like, I mean, it was one thing to be punching him straight in the face over and over and over and over, but the fact that she criticized him for dropping the phone down while she and was asking him to hold the phone back up to make sure that he was going to capture all of that on camera. I'm like, what are you doing? Even if that is a joke, like, why would you do that to yourself, to your husband or partner, whatever he is? Like, I don't understand. I really don't. I feel like the only like views that they're going to be getting are just outrage views. It's people that are going to be spreading this around because they're like, oh my God, look at this. Look at what they're doing. I'm at least I'm hoping that people aren't watching it just because they're like, cool, I want to see somebody get beat up. But yeah, that was rough to watch. I feel bad for him. I really hope that that's just for show. I mean, I hope it's just for show, for his sake, for his safety, and for his mental health. But I also, in a weird way, hope that it's not a joke, because I think it's really effed up when people joke about stuff like that. So, what a video. What a reaction. I'd be interested to see her other content just for the sake of trying to figure out if that's actually her and her personality, or if this was just a staged thing like you suggested.
The video that I extracted was a reaction to the video itself, so they didn't tag the actual channel. I personally want to see myself exactly what that looks like also, because I don't know if people care or really think about this, but you have, and we spoke about this just this past week, you have channels or platforms where all they do is self-cut, self-harm. You do have spaces where folks are solely uploading based on being depressed and suicidal, and they have eating disorders and stuff like that. We don't really take in consideration how dark the internet can be. I have so many issues with this. One of them is how somebody in his position would allow himself to be abused like that or assaulted like that. And how long has it been going on? I would really love to know if this man has family or friends, what the dynamic of that partnership is off camera. And if anybody else knows it or sees what's going on, if anybody is doing anything about it, or like, because red flag, call 911 as soon as you see men putting their hands on women, rightfully so. But the lack of urgency or seriousness behind men being abused does not get taken serious, not nearly enough. Some of the comments that I read from that, some people were laughing. Some people said call 911. Some people said he deserved it because he stayed in it. The comment section is brutal. They don't have no compassion whatsoever for nobody. I want to know why we have such a disdain when it comes to men being abused by women. How come nobody really seems to address it a lot? I understand, we are physically bigger for the most part, and we're prone to getting scarred and bruised up. But no man is voluntarily asking for someone to put their hands on them without consent in any form or fashion, unless we're trying to defend ourselves. So this is tasteless. Anybody who supports it or finds it entertaining something is wrong with you. In the thumbnail, I said, "Is this a fetish?" Because there are people out here that really enjoy being emasculated like that. I don't think this is that though. This is something else. So let me ask you a question. If this is your family member, how do you respond to that? Matter of fact, if this is your family member, do you know about it already? Or are you just now finding out about it? All right, so you got two different scenarios. You know about it and you don't know about it. How do you address both of these parallel universes if you're the cousin of this person? I'm legitimately asking. I'm like, I want to know how people would respond to this.
If I saw this, like if I saw my friend doing this to her partner, depending on which friend it was, I would either sit down and talk to them, be like, what are you doing? What do you like? Why are you acting like this? Why are you treating them like this? And to be honest, with any of my friends, I'm very choosy with who I talk to and who I hang out with. If I saw them doing this, it would instantly make me not want to be friends with them anymore. Because I would be like, you're this type of person. I'm not interested in this anymore. I'm not interested in talking to you. I don't trust you. I don't like the idea of you doing this to the person. And depending on how, like if it was this specific video, I would be tempted to call in like a tip or something. I don't know if I would per se, because I mean, it would depend on the situation. Like if she was doing this as a joke, that would be the like, all right, we need to talk because what you just did on camera is not okay. But if it was on purpose, there's a strong chance that I would like domestic violence hotline kind of thing. Or even contact the partner and be like, hey, look, you should not be subjecting yourself to this and you should probably leave. Man, If it was a family member, I would also have a similar response where if they were in the situation, they were being the one punched, I would 100% like, you need to reevaluate your relationship with this person because they clearly do not care about you. And what they're doing to you could eventually escalate and turn into something way worse in the future. So you need to be considering a way out to keep yourself safe. I also would heavily recommend that they seek out services because it's very unlikely that that was the first event that ever happened. It doesn't just start with you punch somebody in the face. I mean, sure, maybe there's like an incident or something and you get mad and you punch them in the face or something like that, like you catch them cheating or something. But that is not the same thing. What she was doing, if that was in all seriousness, that's abuse right there. And abuse like that doesn't just start with, I'm gonna one day just put you on the phone and start punching you. Like, that is a pattern of behavior. That is something she had likely been doing for a while at least. This is a pattern, and I would find it hard to believe that that was the first incident. And in general, just with her confidence in that behavior and his passivity, I'm inclined to believe that this was not a joke, that this is a pattern, and that this is a symptom of a much larger problem within the relationship. And I hope for him that he had the courage to be like, no, we're done. I can't do this. But sadly, just from a psychological perspective, it did seem like he was kind of not subservient, that's not the best word for it, but like passive about it. He just didn't seem like he was making an effort to stop it. And he seemed kind of like, what do you call it? Like, the only words I can think of are kind of offensive, but like under her control, I guess. And I don't know. It did not feel right. It didn't seem fake to me, especially with the way he was responding. And again, I almost felt like he did have something going on because of the way he was just like, no, don't hit me. Because like, I'm used to my own husband, like he's never hurt me or anything like that. But like the few times where I've gotten a bit unruly because like, I think, I don't know if I've said this before, but I have bipolar disorder. And before I was treated, before I was on medication, I could have like these really outrageous outbursts if I got like overstimulated or really like bothered by something. Particularly like if I was like sleep deprived and whatever. And so there have been a few random incidences over a relationship where I would get so irate that I would like instinctively go to like hit him, and he would just like catch my wrist, or like he does martial arts, so he knows how to subdue somebody without hurting them. And so I'm a lot more familiar with that. And so it seemed very strange to me watching him just like sit there and take it and not defend himself at all, which makes me assume that this is a pattern and he's been abused by her over time.
You gotta have a real horrible sense of self-esteem to allow somebody to abuse you like that. I mean, the verbal is probably one of the most horrific ways that you can abuse somebody, to me. Off of observation, I definitely believe he's going through both. In addition, I believe she is actually the one who most likely is sleeping around with other people, or at least entertaining other people. Any pushback that he has towards her, I guarantee it's met with gaslighting, is met with high grade narcissistic traits and behaviors. I am 1000% certain that he does not really love himself enough, because that's just who she is. I really believe that's who she is. You can't do that on camera like that, as brave and as egotistical as you did, and you're not like that in real life. Now, does she adjust it based on her environment? Probably. I don't think she's doing that in front of his family. I know that's not happening. I will put money on that she does in front of her friends. I would love to know his story. I bet she controls his social media if he has it. I guarantee if I ever find it, or hers, I know she disrespect him in every way possible. I bet she does not represent that man properly at all on hers. And one of the reasons why I believe this brother protected her and didn't actually give her or her information, which I think was, I don't know if you would consider that responsible or irresponsible, because I know a lot of folks who see this and they would not take kindly to it. Some folks, y'all joking, clown, and everything is funny to y'all. Some people take shit like this to the heart very, very, very much, and they will actually take matters into their own hand. Everybody ain't playing on the internet. They don't even have to know you. Some people just don't like bullshit like that. You don't put your hands on anybody for nothing. Now, as far as this brother here, I don't know if he has anybody, but it doesn't really feel like he does. It don't, because if he did, I don't see this situation happening unless he feels embarrassed and ashamed that he doesn't want to go to, like, y'all think that men who get hit on want to talk about being hit on by women? That shit is humiliating. Like, it's corny. How can you, a grown man, get beat up by a girl? Where's your backbone? You're a coward. You're this. You're that. He ha ha. Joke, 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 joke. But none of that shit is funny. So it's more likely that he's not going to say something than if a woman that's being abused. I don't know. At some point we got to stop. That the video shouldn't even be on social media, period. She should have been kicked off, banned, and hopefully whoever got hold of the footage first and saw it when it was posted, they reported this shit. I hope and pray she did jail time. I hope and pray that somebody stepped up and said, fuck the politics, forget all of the popularity bullshit, forget the algorithm and trying to fit in with the audience. This ain't right. She needs to be held accountable. He need help. And somebody took action. Hopefully somebody from his family saw it, or one of his friends or something saw it. But because whoever is friends with her, they ain't shit either. They not. They can't be. If you cool with that, you ain't nothing. In fact, if you're friends with her, that means that a part of you is like her too. I really don't think he really got too many people in his circle. I don't. I yield the mic.
I'm trying to see if I can find her video, but sadly, as I'm trying to find the video, I'm finding just case after case of either women attacking their boyfriends on social media or the vice versa, women being punched in public by people for social media. It's crazy. The things people are going to do for fame is just ridiculous, and especially when it involves hurting people just because. I really wish I was able to find this person so I could see again what her patterns are, because I don't believe that she's being funny. Even if she was, it's not funny, but I just can't believe that somebody would have that much gusto behind punching somebody in the face over and over again and not mean it. And I think you're 100% correct. I think that she's controlling other areas of his life. I would not be surprised if she prevents him from visiting his friends, prevents him from doing things that he cares about, if she berates him for spending money, if she berates him for not buying her things, if she talks shit about him to her family members or her friends, or even openly humiliates him in person, in public. Yeah, she does not seem like a very kind person. At the very, very, very least, she's selfish for exploiting him for social media. But again, as I keep revisiting his response in my head, and he just seems so pitiful, and it does not seem like typical behavior for a guy, especially somebody that he's much bigger than she is. If I had that much weight and somebody was attacking me, I would use that against them. And the fact that he didn't do anything, if it wasn't a joke, she's manipulating him. She's doing something in some way to make him feel like he is not going to be able to protect himself, or that he shouldn't protect himself. So I just from the video, it seemed like she was younger, definitely under 25, potential at least under 30. But I really was kind of leaning towards 19, 20, 21, 22 ish, possibly as old as 20, 25, as I said. But it really seems like this is more of a common occurrence now. I don't know if it's just because of social media, because we hear this stuff more, but I'm seeing so many stories of person randomly punched in public, people being killed after being punched in the face. I'm pretty sure there's a social media challenge too that encourages kids to punch each other as hard as they can in the head, which obviously can cause significant damage. You can definitely give someone a concussion from punching them, and if you hit them in the right place, you can even cause a brain bleed, a stroke. And what she was doing to him too was I don't know how strong she is, but just the sound it was making, it was undoubtedly doing damage to him. And the location she was punching him, she got him in the temple a couple times. She got him in the eyes area a couple times. Like, you can definitely break your, I think it's called your ocular bone or whatever. I forgot what it's called, occipital, something like that. But like, you could definitely break these bones in the face pretty easily from a punch. You could break your nose really easily from a punch. If you hit your sinus area or your ear, it can cause damage. It can even cause deafness if you hit hard enough. It can rupture your eardrum. It can do damage to the tubes in your sinuses. Like, even if it's a joke, what she was doing could still do damage to him. There are numerous stories that I've heard over the years of people getting sucker punched and killed, and that's just a single punch. And as I said, she seemed very comfortable with that level of violence towards him, and it's very likely, in my opinion, that she's doing way more than she's showing on this video, especially because she's comfortable showing it on video. Like, if somebody videotaped me punching my husband, I would be humiliated. I would want that deleted. I would do whatever I could to pull it off the internet, because I would feel so embarrassed that I'm being shown in light like that. Not to mention, I wouldn't want him to have his image out there like that, especially with his association, his job. I wouldn't want that out there affecting his how people see him and how people treat him. Because sadly, in this culture, if a man gets abused by a woman, people attack the guy because they're like, oh, you're weak, oh, look at you, you're getting beat up by a girl, oh, blah 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 blah. You know, the whole slew of insulting commentary about him not being a man and not being tough and how he should beat her ass and all that other fun stuff that you can find on the internet. It's just, how could you do that to somebody that you supposedly care about? I highly doubt she cares about him with the way she's treating him. But just the fact that you put it on social media too says a lot. It says a lot about your personality, says a lot about the gall that you have, about, like, you asked earlier, like, what types of conditions could somebody have to be like that? And definitely, like, the top ones that come to mind: borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, possibly narcissistic personality disorder. There's another one that let's see, what's it called? There's another one that's like a type anger issues, but there's a specific name for it. Schizotypal, antisocial personality disorder, potentially. I'll kind of go over these just so people know what the difference is. With antisocial personality disorder, they tend to show a lack of respect towards others. They don't like to follow rules. They don't follow norms. It's very common for people with antisocial personality disorder to break the law, cause physical or emotional harm to others. They're at a higher risk of becoming abusers. And they often are the type of people that will not take responsibility for their behaviors, and they'll basically not give a flip about the consequences of what they did. They won't care about the other person's feelings. If they get arrested, they're gonna be really flippant and be like, whatever, I just did what I did, I just had to do it, I just blah 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 blah, insert excuses. So it very much could be something like that. Borderline personality disorder, which I'm a little less inclined to say that is that, but it very well could be, because it can cause emotional regulation issues, low self-esteem, mood swings, and impulsive behaviors. And as a result, it can cause a lot of relationship problems. And people with borderline personalities can have like flare-ups where they have moments where they're triggered and their behavior escalates rapidly. This was not, I have bipolar, but that's something that I had struggled with, where partially because of the disorder, partially because of past history that I've been exposed to, I would have an emotion come up that I wouldn't be able to handle. And so I would have a really outrageous reaction in response to that emotion because I didn't know what to do with the feelings that I was feeling. And so that could technically be what she's going through, but she doesn't seem triggered. This seemed very pointed. Like, she didn't seem like I'm having a moment and I'm just like not there right now. This seemed very much like a very purposeful attack. It could also be histrionic personality disorder. People that suffer from this disorder often have really unstable emotions. They have a strange self-image where either they're extremely pompous, extremely full of themselves, but deep down they're very like they need approval from people. And they don't have a very strong sense of self-worth. But this manifests as a super overwhelming desire to be noticed by other people, and they'll often show dramatic or inappropriate behaviors to get attention, which this is the one I'm kind of leaning towards with her, because that would make a lot of sense why she would act so outrageously and post it on social media, because it's giving her some sort of benefit emotionally, even though it's not beneficial in the long run. It just feels like that for her in the moment. I knew somebody that had this behavior, and she 1000% had this crazy behavior when she broke up with her boyfriend. I think we were sophomores, 15. She literally laid on the ground in front of the classroom, like bawling and screaming as loud as she possibly could, like how much she hated him, how much she wanted to die, how she wanted to hurt herself, and flipping back and forth between like, I need you, I love you, don't leave me, and then I hate you so much, I want to kill you, I blah 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 blah. She didn't do any of that. She just was like screaming and acting that way, but she had histrionic personality disorder. So and then narcissistic personality disorder is also a somewhat likely disorder that you could have. I'm a little less inclined to say this one because it doesn't always cause aggressive behavior, but it does involve a pattern of you feel like you're better than everybody else. You feel like you deserve praise and admiration. You don't have empathy for others. And the behaviors that you do are linked to lack of self-esteem and lack of confidence. So it could potentially turn into her abusing him to make herself feel better. But as I said, I would lean mostly towards histrionic personality disorder or possibly antisocial personality disorder. But that would also have, it would have to be determined by like how she was raised, what other behaviors is she showing, her response to what she did. Even though I think it would be really hard to judge on social media. I think only people that really know her personally would be able to judge this, because obviously no matter what people say, anytime you put anything on social media, you're putting up some sort of facade. I would say it's almost impossible for people to be truly themselves on camera, because once you get on camera, your mind has to have a switch in its head, because you know you're being watched. And when your brain knows it's being watched, it will always act differently than if it thinks it's not being watched. So pretty much if she's putting it on social media, to a degree, she knows what she's doing. There could be other things like anxiety or like other types of self-harm type personality issues, but I would really lean more towards the ones that I listed, the histrionic, borderline, antisocial, because all of those can entice people internally to lash out at other people due to their inability to handle their own emotions. So there's no doubt in my mind that there's something wrong with her. If she did this just because, I would even say that she probably has a disorder that makes her feel special or whatever, that she's doing whatever she's doing. But I'm really inclined to say that she probably has a personality disorder.
I'm going to run it back one more time for the people who didn't get to see it, just so y'all understand the gravity of this. And then I'm going to read the comments. I'm going to zoom in on it. These people, man, they make me sick sometimes. I go to the comment section because I want to see how serious people are. Are they going to be on joke time? Or are they going to be serious? You go under a missing persons upload, people make jokes. You go under a post where someone is, I don't know, taking a number 2 is a joke. Like everything on the internet is like for the amusement of people. Like, are you that broken that you got to find amusement in shit like this? I don't get it. I couldn't tell you. You probably have a better assessment on which one she would identify with. Me personally, as far as I'm concerned, she's just like that in general. But for the most part, these people in the comment section majority of them are saying he basically asked for it or he paid for it to be done. Like, that's some wild shit if you really paid somebody to do that shit.
I wasn't texting nobody.
Tell him.
I wasn't texting nobody, guys. I promise. I promise.
Say thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Hold the camera right. Let them see.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It was hard for me to even play that shit again, to be honest with you.
Looking at that, it almost looks like they're in public. Like, that doesn't look like the inside of an apartment, especially with that clipboard on the wall. Like, that really looks like the outside of some sort of door, like maybe the outside of their apartment, but that doesn't even look like they're inside a house now that I see that.
I don't know. I don't know, but either way, that shit is fucked up. Let's go ahead and go to the great comment section. Let's see what we got here. Official Vivier, however you pronounce that. He's right where he wants to be. Shrugs. The next comment says, you can tell he paid for this, y'all. Laughy face. The next one says, Gen Z got some fetishes for real. Hey, it's not really off the table. There are people who pay to get defecated on, so I would not be surprised. We have dominatrix out here as well. Let's continue to scroll down. Don't know what 3 HP mean. I don't understand what that's supposed to be about.
It's like video game terminology, like lost hit points.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, isn't that delightful? I can't scroll any further, but you get the point.
So much compassion, so much empathy.
Yeah. If I go to this man's actual profile, scroll a little bit. Music. I don't know where that one came from. Everything else seems to be about his music, but he had a real fascination for that particular video for some reason. Is it possible that this man just has a fixation with being tormented and humiliated, and he actually paid for it? I mean, we to be fair, you got people who pay women to spend their money. You got men who pay women to beat the hell out of them. You got men that pay for feet pictures. You got men who pay for defecation. You got men who pay you to sit on their face and suffocate them. Like there are a number of fetishes out here that we don't even know about. We just talked about, what was that, the blue whale thing?
Mm-hmm. When I was in high school, I remember one of the viral videos that went around that I accidentally found out about was, I'm not going to describe it in detail, but the stiletto video where they step on a certain something for the video, and it's stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing? What is wrong? What is wrong with with people these days? I'm like, has this stuff been going on for generations and we just haven't heard about it, or is this like a sign that we're losing it?
I think it's just getting more brazen. The things that used to get punished or scrutinized, it's no longer a unordinary thing. Is more popular. Just like everybody is now becoming supportive of the LGBTQ community. You know, as time progressed, you see people get punished for being judgmental of a specific group of people who choose a certain gender. Censorship has increased. You're getting cut off. Your platforms are getting erased. You can't use keywords. Everybody is identifying as Pokemon and potato chips. So, I mean, like at this point, I think this stuff has been around. It's just now getting more acceptable. It ain't my business. Hey, let them do what they want. That's the attitude. Do I believe that this is what that is? I don't know. It's just cringe to me. In general, I'm a basic person. I don't have weird kinks like that. You're not about to pour molten lava on me and fucking stick me with toothpicks and shit. We don't do toys. We're not doing bottles. You're not putting nothing in my orifices. No. I'm a boy, Damon. I'm a boy. We don't like. I'm just a regular. I guess I'm born. I guess I'm born as hell because we not doing all that weird funny shit. So, I mean, like either way, I don't find nothing about this cool. If it's a fetish, it's weird. If it's really just her being abusive, that shit ain't cool. women, you need to stop putting your hands on dudes. Like if this was anybody else that had a set of cojones, she would be eating pavement. Shit, I just finished watching the video where a chick was trying to throw hands with a black dude, and he slapped her right on the car. She went. She rolled she rolled right down the side of the windshield. Everybody don't play like that.
I saw something like that recently as well. I forgot if it was a guy and a girl or two guys, but he like approached the guy like, "What, you want to fight? You want to fight?" And the guy that ended up knocking his lights out, he just gave one firm slap, and that guy crumpled to the floor. It was just one hit, and he was gone.
Sensational.
So when it turns out like that, I do enjoy that. My guilty pleasure watching people get what they deserve, but I felt bad for that guy. If it is a fetish, to each their own, I guess, but yikes. Why would you put that on social media? Like, eek. Like fetishes are something that, like your sex life, why do you want to advertise that to people unless you're like trying to get into some like polyamorous group whatever stuff? But not my cup of tea, so I guess I can't judge, because who knows, maybe he does want that stuff. But to me, that does not look nice. That looks abusive, and that looks not what do you say? Not consensual, I should say.
Imagine a nigga saying, my ultimate fantasy is for you to run me over with your car. We role play, and you caught somebody texting me at 12 a.m. at night, and we get into a fight, and I storm off, and you follow me down the street in your car, and then you just hit me. Just hit me a little bit, and then you pick my crippled body up, put me back in the car, take me back to the house, and then you just ravage me. Yeah, that's some weird shit, man. I'm sorry, that's weird as fuck. I'm not about to sit up here and pay you $200 to dunk my head in toilet bowl water to get your rocks off. Like, are y'all bored? Are you uninspired? I think the problem with that is y'all destroyed the sanctimony of marriage and what relationships are and intimacy. Like that don't even exist no more. Y'all done broke down the borders and everything, and y'all are just out here just trying to figure out how to spice up your life in any and all ways possible. That's why everything is boring to you. You've pretty much sullied your hands, because what was supposed to just be special, it's no longer that. Again, I don't know if this is that. My issue is, why do women feel as if just because you're a female, you got the right to put your hands on people because you don't know how to control your attitude or your emotions? That's a no-no. It's unacceptable. If you can't have a conversation with them, then you shouldn't be with them. If you can't have a conversation, like you go to work, do your job, everybody will piss you off there, but because they sign your checks, you ain't about to throw a fist at your supervisor. For the most part, of course. I'm not talking about the outlaws, like the woman who killed her supervisor at McDonald's. I'm talking about the majority. But like, come on, man. Don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me about y'all more mature, and don't shut up. I don't want to hear it. That's crazy to me. You don't know how to walk away. You don't know how to block, mute. Why even entertain something that is unhealthy for you? It don't make no sense. But stop playing, fellas. It's, hey, look. Call the police, lock their ass up. I don't care. Let them say it's corny. Let them say so the hell what. Put their ass in prison. Don't cover up for it. It ain't weak. What's the point of paying all these taxes for if you ain't going to let the law do their job? What is the purpose? That's the problem. We don't hold them accountable enough. You got anything you want to say before we close out?
One, don't treat people like that. I mean, I guess if they want that, if that's their thing, do whatever, but don't treat people like that, and stop filming it, for God's sake. It's just I don't know why people feel the need to show off them mistreating people and how you can get some sort of pride from it. Like, what happened to the days where we felt shame about things? We need to bring shame and embarrassment back, because clearly people are broadcasting any behavior they want to just because. I feel bad especially for the kids that are going to be growing up in this and are going to come out into the real world and be like, this is normal? Like, we're teaching our kids to be violent, to be aggressive, to be angry, or to accept anger, to accept violence. I have a poem. It's technically not completed. I still want to like revise it, but I still thought it would really fit, because I started writing it when I forgot exactly which story it was, but it was with the idea that men, the same idea that we started off with, that men are really discredited and are not given the same type of respect that women are. Like, when women are abused, everyone goes up in arms and they're like, oh my God, how could you abuse them? But as I said earlier, with men, if they're abused, we're like, honey, you stand up for yourself. What's wrong with you? Like, you just let that happen. And I think we really have to start reevaluating how we treat men and how we treat the people that mistreat men. Because even now it seems like women are favored, even in situations where they are the abusers. So I wrote this to touch on that idea. And so I thought it would be kind of fitting to end with that, if you want. It doesn't have a name yet. Men are like trees, starting off as fragile saplings, growing from their mother's feet. They begin punching the surface, seeking from the dirt their self-esteem. As they dig into the soil, they test those roots out as they go, seeking nourishment from within the weeds. Eager to snap on top of a rocky black world, in storms without a forest, they release to the seas. To see the best of a man, you must be there, to tend, water his roots, help him spread his branches, care for him with as much consideration as you owe to yourself. If you show that you are the one to pick apples from weary limbs, to rake leaves even during gray days, to honor him with just a gaze of admiration for strength, for might, for transformation, and a tree finds it hard to be one. A tree that finds it too hard to be one is not one. So it's time to respect the ones that you see.
You stay clipped up. I always gotta give you flowers for that, man.
I don't know how many books I have pre-written that are just not put together yet.
Hey, at least you prepared though.
I try and touch on all topics because I really like to speak to topics that are forgotten about. Because I know, just from what I see, so many poems, no offense to anybody that writes them, but so many poems are just like sex poems and relationship poems and love poems and stuff. And I feel like we need to start using poetry again to talk about the deeper issues, because using art is how we reach people. People don't like to be talked to be lectured, to be like, you need to do this. Here's the instructions and blah, blah. Like, people don't respond to that. They respond to feeling the emotions, to connecting with the stories. And so that's why I always like writing about the really meaningful issues that don't get talked about, because that's how you get people to start thinking and changing their minds. And especially now, this is something we need. Men in general are at greater risk of everything, ranging from accidents to suicide to murder. They're more likely to go to prison. They're more likely to die in prison. They're more likely to get longer sentences in prison. They're more likely to be falsely accused and go to prison for that. They're also more likely to commit assaults. They're also more likely to be involved in assaults as the victim. And also, they're the ones that are more openly shamed if they are violated or assaulted or have been a victim of certain crimes. And there's less services available, and there's more stigma in them seeking out those services. So we really have to start reaching men and showing them that we do care about them, because it's a community that is being left behind, really. And it seems like it's also emboldening women to mistreat men, because they know that they can take advantage of the system. They can pretend that they're this poor, battered woman and they didn't do anything and it was just for their protection. I'm just this meek, small girl. But we've heard story after story of women abusing men behind the scenes and making it seem like it was him. And that needs to change. We really need to start respecting men and showing them the compassion that they deserve, especially because men are also more likely to be mistreated. I mean, different types of mistreatment. Women are more likely to be mistreated in other forms, but men are more likely to be like beat by their parents and are less likely to have that emotional, compassionate type of love from their parents. They're more likely to be have higher standards than women, in both at home and at work. So this is something that we really need to visit and discuss more often, that men deserve as much love as women do, and they're not getting that. So that's why I wrote that, because being married to my husband, like, he's a big, tough guy. Like, he loves martial arts. He's in the military. He loves, the manly sports and whatnot. But he's sensitive. Like, he has his sensitive sides. He has his insecurities. There's always that myth that, like, oh, men aren't insecure. They're just macho and whatever. Like, as long as they have their body, they're fine. I'm like, a lot of men are like that because of their insecurities. And we have to start feeling and understanding what they are feeling, because that misnomer that they're just big and tough is making men more vulnerable to those crimes. That's why men are more likely to commit suicide than women, because they don't feel like they can go anywhere, that they can't. Women can just talk to their friends all day about the stuff that they're struggling with, but a lot of men can't. It's stigmatized. And if a man tries to talk to another man about feeling suicidal, they'll either be mocked for it or they'll just be brushed off like, oh man, you'll be fine. So yeah, that's why I like to speak for men, because I think it's a group of people that's often forgotten and not spoken for. So yeah, I'm glad I was able to read this and also talk about this issue today.
Shout outs to you. Shout outs to everybody who pulled up today. I'm glad y'all could be here for this discussion, one that does not get spoke about nearly enough. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. You know how to reach me. At the top of the screen, if you hadn't noticed, there was a bar, a QR code up there. That was directly for Sid, just in case y'all wanted to tap in. I'll be having those in rotation a lot. But you'll see me tomorrow morning and Sydney tomorrow evening for her segment. Outside of that, drive safe. Go ahead.
For tomorrow, it's the same one that we were going to do last week, right? The immigration stuff. Just checking.
Matter of fact, shoot me a message. So
okay. No
problem. I'll set it up as soon as I get off of here.
Okay. Good night, guys, and be nice to men. They deserve it too.
Yeah, and get your fetishes in order too. Like, y'all doing way too much with that stuff, man. Anyway, we out. Y'all be easy.
If I'm a one-hit wonder, at least I got one, huh? At least I got something, really ain't me. The beat bumping, one song could change lives. Let's see something, one joke could save lives. We gon' keep coming, keep functioning, something out of nothing. Ball-wise, I'm top 300, get your favorite artist. I'll chop it up with mutton if they haters. Your ghost could be bludgeon if they for real. We getting money, subtract BS minus Negroes, cutting everything authentic. Stupid shit I did it, punishing myself like my mom prison. No questions, no tea, not lifting. One time for tea, being broke.